Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Hoarders in Generation XYZ. Those terms, Generation XYZ, to this very day, I still don't understand it. What does that even mean? I have not gotten any clarification of what that means.
I know your Gen Zers, I think they mostly live in social media era. They depend a lot.
Is that the young people of the day?
Yeah. Born, I think maybe 2012 or something like that. I had an understanding of it, but I need to go back and look at it again. Yeah. But we'll come back to that one.
Okay. Because I don't know who X was and I don't know who Y, but I've never understood that.
It's just their personalities are different. That's what I be kind of looking at. Because I know the ones up to date, they are really into social media that sometimes they are not even aware of their surroundings. They're so much into their phones and stuff. I can observe that just from personal observations.
Yep. I had to tell my little stepdaughter, she 18, she just turned 18. I said, I'm going to need you to get out that phone when you walking through the parking lot. You almost got hit. I had to snatch her up on the sidewalk to keep her from getting hit. She wasn't paying attention. She was in that phone.
I think many of them are becoming addicted to it.
I don't know if it's a good thing either.
It's not. In many instances, it's not, because you're spending the majority of your time on the phone, you're losing time in other areas.
Prayer, for one thing.
All right, we're going to get ready to go live. Here we go. Where would I be? Good morning. Good morning. I hate to cut into that beautiful song, but we got to move forward. Our time is passing. Yes, it is. We have our favorite counselor here, Miss Kenya Crawford Walker, with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well.
Wonderful.
What's going on in your area of the world?
Woo, still battling this heavy congestion.
Really?
Yes, it's been we're going in the third week, really. And it's still a problem. Been trying to figure out a way to get rid of it. Hadn't been successful just yet.
I'm sure there is something out there that would knock it out just like that. I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
You just hadn't found it yet.
Right, I hadn't found it, but I needed to clear up quickly because it's been a problem. But other than that, I have no complaints. Things are going well in every area of my life.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I thank God for it.
Amen. All right, we're going to talk about some things today. Yes, we are. One of the things is in marriage life, how can each share the workload? We might have time to talk about hoarders. Why do some people hoard? What's causing that? And then if we have time, we might look at the different generations, your Gen Zers, and, since the millennials, what's going on with our generation, if we have time. But we're going to, let's talk about the marriage thing first. But before we get into that, I do have something I want to share from the little green book this morning. This morning I got the little green book. All right. And the little green book says, the best inheritance a father can leave his children is a good example. The best inheritance a father can leave his children is a good example. 1 Thessalonians 2:11 says, as ye know how we exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you as a father doth his son, or doeth his son, leaving as an example. What you think about that quote?
I believe that, we have to lead as parents by example. And men were placed and positioned by God to be our leaders. And we need them because they bring stability and solidarity to our families and communities.
All right. The Bible tells us also that a good man will leave an inheritance for his children and his children's children. And when we look at that word inheritance, a lot of times we automatically go to the scripture. I think I'm getting a little play from that mic. I'm getting some feedback from it.
Okay.
So he didn't say what the inheritance was. And you just brought out with the book, and you also brought out a good example. Leaving a good example for your children is a good inheritance. That the children can say, I had a good father.
Yes.
My father showed me the way to go. And I remember some things to this day my father said.
Me too. About life. Some of the do's and don'ts about life. Just like our inheritance. When we hear that word inheritance, we think about monetary inheritance, assets.
Yes.
Wealth. But being a good example to your children and teaching them about how to live a righteous life is also a wonderful inheritance.
That's true. Because I believe the father has the great influence. Mothers do too, but when they put it together and they are working together, what some awesome children they can produce.
Yes, ma'am. They can.
So leaving that example, that is so imperative that you can look back on the life of your father and say, my father said this. I did a message one time, sayings of my fathers. And I remember he said that be careful how you treat people. You never know whose hands you're going to fall into.
That's true.
We don't. Like
true.
Bishop preached that message Sunday. The seed that we sow now, we are going to reap later.
Yes. The seeds that we sow, we will always reap them later. Because you have a sowing time and you have a harvest time. And we have to be careful about the seeds that we sow because they will take root and they will bear fruit later.
Well, what do you say about the individuals that say, I'm just living for the weekend, I'm just living for now, not even thinking about tomorrow?
That's a problem. Because if you just living for now and you're not preparing yourself for the future, it's like you're setting yourself up for failure. Just like Bishop said, if you don't prepare, you're preparing to fail. You don't know what's going to come up in the future. In regards to your health, your finances, your family relationships. We have to prepare for the future. We're not supposed to worry about the future because it can provoke anxiety. But you need to have some type of idea of what you want your life to be like in the future. You have to have some type of idea of how you want your life to unfold. What goals do you have? And what steps are you taking to reach those goals to have a better future?
And you're so right. Even with how you treat people, sometimes you can treat people really bad in the beginning of a relationship. But sooner or later, if that person get rooted and grounded in the Lord, that relationship is going to flip. And then now you wonder, why did you treat this person like this? Sooner or later, it will flip.
Yes, it will. Yes, and I have seen family members who did not make amends with their family members, specifically parents that have hurt their children, abused them, and abandoned them. And what happened was when that parent became elderly and they needed to be cared for, they had to face what they had done to that child. Now the child that you deserted is now having to take care of you. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that's God's way of getting you to make amends and face up to what you have done. Because if you don't humble yourself to make amends and help straighten out some of the things that went on in the relationship, he will put you in a situation, even if he has to, put you flat on your back, mm-hmm. to make you say I'm sorry, mm-hmm. to make you come to grips with what you have done and reconcile that relationship with your child.
But what if you get so caught up in pride, so caught up in yourself that you don't use those words, I'm sorry?
If you get caught up in yourself, you are going to have a humbling experience. That's why we are supposed to humble ourselves, because you don't want him to do it. Mm-mm. Because if God humbles you, he's going to humiliate you in order to humble you.
Wow. We have the power within ourselves, mm-hmm. to humble ourselves, Lord. I'm mm-hmm. coming down. I'm not going to be on this high horse.
That's right.
Because, we got to get older. Mm-hmm. We don't know. And as we age, we ought to get more wiser.
That's right.
It was in the book of Jeremiah. He said that Abner died like a fool because he did some things that he shouldn't have done. Mm-hmm. When you get older, you ought to make amends and learn from the mistakes.
Yes.
Not keep making the same mistakes even in the older age.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true.
All right. Let's talk about the husbands and wife working together as a team. Mm-hmm. Because whether you know it or not, they are a team.
Yes. Supposedly.
Supposed to be a team. Mm-hmm. And if you got a team member pulling against the goal or the vision, mm-hmm. now you got problems. Mm-hmm. Supposed to be together mm-hmm. as a team.
That's right.
Let's talk about the workload.
Okay.
Who should carry most of the workload?
Now, traditionally, women have carried most of the workload when it comes to the inside of the home. Mm-hmm. But I believe that men should be able to help out too. Mm-hmm. To help take some of the load off of the wife. Mm-hmm. Because women are working more outside of the home than they ever have in history. Mm-hmm. And so they're working anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. And, they may have children that they have to care for, which is another full-time job. And so when you're cooking and you're cleaning and you're doing laundry to make sure everybody in the home has what they need, in order for that wife to be emotionally and mentally sound, to give that family what they need emotionally, it's best to take some of the workload off of her so she can be mentally and emotionally available.
And you think about it now, really, like you said, if she's working, both of you are responsible mm-hmm. for the household chores.
Yes, I believe that.
Some men don't like to cook or wash. They think that's a feminine thing. Mm-hmm. But, not necessarily.
Right. It's not.
You got some men can actually cook better than women. Mm-hmm.
That's true. And who's ever the better cook is, they should be the ones to cook most of the meals.
Well, what if one is better at the finances than the other one, even though the other one is bringing in more of the monies?
Now, the one to me, there shouldn't be a comparison there because we're both one.
Right.
We are one, and we put what we have together so we can have more and have everything that we need in that household. But if you are a stay-at-home wife, then your work is inside of the home. I can understand you doing more of the work then because you're not working outside of the home. Mm-hmm. So to me, the house should be clean. Mm-hmm. You should be cooking the meals. You should be doing the laundry since you are a stay-at-home mom or housewife.
But should she do it all though?
I wouldn't say all of it, but most of it. because she doesn't have a job that she has to wake up and go to every day.
Right. I understand. When I was talking about the monies, I wasn't talking about having the money separate. I was talking about the one that's keeping up with what's going in and out because they are more stable with the finances. You got some people don't know how to keep up with the finances. They'll be spending all the money.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Who's ever better at balancing the checkbook and making sure the finances are stable, that's the one who should oversee that. But also keep their other spouse in the loop
of what's going on.
Especially
if you're making some major purchases. I can understand little small things you need for the house. But if you're going out and making a major purchase and you didn't let your spouse know, now you got some conflict there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're working against your teammate. And that can cause thoughts and feelings of mistrust. If you're spending against your spouse and you're not letting them know when you make major purchases like a car or you buy some appliance or something.
All right, I think we got a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning and Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas and everything.
Good morning to you.
How you all been doing?
We're doing well. What about you today?
I'm doing good. I just finally I got a little bit of break. I got a break here for a change. I decided to sit down and take a break instead of just going all day without taking a break.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, since we got you on the line, we're talking about husband and wife sharing the workload. Now, since from a man perspective, how do you feel about them sharing the household workload together?
Oh, I think it should be a balance there. I think it should be a balance. I don't think anything wrong with it because it's not just one person home, but both of you all's home. And I think y'all should share the workload. When I was married, I didn't mind when my wife was cooking. I folded up the clothes. I did whatever I needed to do. To me, I don't know about some other guys, but to me, it wasn't no big deal because I was used to cleaning and doing stuff anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, I went outside and started doing the yard work. She came outside to help me with the yard work.
So you're saying it's more of teamwork, doing it together, even when you're outside doing something?
Oh, it's no I in team. We should be able to work together. We work together in the house and outside the house. Makes everything work together.
What was your comments on that about the teamwork?
I agree. It should be a teamwork because both people are in that home and they share that home, and it keeps one other person from being completely overwhelmed with the housework.
I agree. I have known some people that, one of the spouses, got disabled to do some things. And the person, the caregiver, ended up passing away before the person that was actually sick. What the caregiver was doing was carrying the major load of everything. And even though they were not sick, they took on so much of the other person's load that they got sick and passed away.
Put too much work on it.
Yeah.
Wasn't balancing enough, so ain't no I in team. And it says that when you become as one, that means just what they said. You should be as one. The wife should want the husband to be stressed, and the wife should, and the husband should want the wife to be stressed. They should balance that out, to make sure they have a balance there, so they won't cause a lot of. You shouldn't start to complain about I'm doing more than you and you doing more than me. It started with a small problem, and before you know it, it turns into a bigger problem, and before you know it, it's out of control.
I know. I heard one lady say she was married, that my husband looked the best to me when he's serving. We're serving together. Like she loved him more, felt more connected when they was doing things together. Even the work.
Yeah, Yeah, it feels good, because she's right there, laughing and enjoying each other. It's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. I have no problem with it. I don't know, every role is different, so everybody set their household up different on how they want things to be taken care of. So.
Mm-hmm. But you think about it now, you are one, and someone said too, they like for maybe the spouse to volunteer or the wife to volunteer, that they just didn't want them to have to ask all the time, especially if they see that the other one is doing something and they need help. Mm-hmm. That they shouldn't have to ask all the time, come help me. I agree.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to ask all the time. Mm-hmm. You should be attentive to one another. I put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Should be paying attention to one another. Be attentive to one another. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to say something. I wait till I get ready to get off the air before I say that, because I'm going to throw a dagger and then I'm going to hang up.
Go on, throw the dagger.
Yes, sir.
So
let's hear it.
So we can deal with it. Go ahead and throw the dagger.
Let me see, can I put this in a way. Let me see, can I put it this way. You don't want him to be tired, and you don't want her to be tired, because two tired people just can't make things work like they should. Do you feel me?
Yes, sir.
We feel you. We know where you're coming from.
Okay, then. All right. So everything works together. It's a balance, and that's what and that's what my thing was. I ain't going to be tired just doing all the work. No, I don't mind. I didn't mind helping. And I work too. Don't get me wrong. I work full time too. But by the same token, if she was in the kitchen doing something, there was some clothes there to be folded up. Mm-hmm. I'll fold up, and then sometime I had my days where I would cook too. Like maybe sometime on Friday we always would sit on the patio. I would always maybe grill or something like that, and we had company to come over. Something I would help out. Just work together.
Hold on. Let me grab this call. Okay. They hung up. I guess they'll call back. Mm-hmm. Well, let me see. Can I grab this call? WTWG.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Morning.
Good. I'm calling to the TJ Straight Ministries. I'm going to be bringing a payment this evening or first thing in the morning.
Okay, I'll be here.
Somebody will be here. It's going to be. I'll be after I get off work. So.
What time will that be?
I usually get off at 5. So I'm either dropping under the door tonight or either I bring it in first thing in the morning.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, sweetie. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Have a blessed day.
You too. I didn't mean for all that to go over the air, but it went over there now. I'm sorry about that.
But the most important thing is it's just knowing, your roles and be willing to just work together to get things done. And I think that's why it's more to it than more than meet the eye. When you get into a covenant relationship. I heard this lady say this. She said it shouldn't be about casual. It should be about covenant. Mm-hmm. But he made that covenant with God and that covenant with one another. You should be able to try to work together to balance the load. And in this era now, it's just different. It used to be that the husband went to work and the wife stayed at home, but that have changed now. Everything is just so different. Finding those ways to make things work in this era that we're living in can be very challenging.
Well, what would you say? Ms. Walker going to come back and just kind of help us balance this all out. But what would you say to those men that's women works? They've never hardly did housework. They feel like it's beyond them. It's not a man's duty.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to when you're dating, you can identify all those things and decide how can we make our marriage, if we decide to get married, how can we make it work with me doing what I'm doing? Because you got professional people now. You got two professional people married. They're in their careers and stuff, and they don't want to give them up. So you have to get all that squared away before you decide to get married. If it's not a good fit, someone not willing to sacrifice and not willing to give up anything, it might not be a good fit. You might not need to get married.
That's true. Counselor, I wanted to ask you, what if one of the mates might have mental illness and you don't know it until you get into the marriage?
So you're asking, what should you do in that situation?
Yeah. How do you deal with that?
Okay. Well, once you discover that this person has a mental illness, have a conversation, number one, and find out why they didn't tell you. And then if
maybe they didn't know themselves.
It's possibility.
Some people deny that.
It's a possibility they either didn't know or denied it, or just didn't want to come to an acceptance that they have mental illness. If you decide to stay with them and move forward, talk to them about psychiatric services. See if they will be committed to seeking psychiatric and psychotherapy services. And if the mental illness is producing behaviors that makes it unbearable to live with them at times, you have to tell them, okay, if you plan on having me to stay in this marriage with you, you're going to have to get some help or else I'm out.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to ask this question too. Should those things, I'm going to ask this question. Mm-hmm. If you go into a covenant relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And that person lied to you up front, and they know that they say they got bad credit. Mm-hmm. Actually, you said, baby, you got how's your credit? You know, we decided to get married. Mm-hmm. With our credit level, how's your credit? If you ask all these questions up front, mm-hmm. maybe and they lie to you up front, and they still go into the marriage and go down to the altar and get married. Mm-hmm. You married a lie.
Exactly, you did. I agree.
And you married a lie. If you married a lie, mm-hmm. now you're going to create a problem, and then it's going to create a major problem in your relationship because you wasn't honest up front.
Right.
And what's going to happen is you're going to end up in divorce court, and then everybody's going to be like, well, they got divorced. I just can't believe they got divorced. Because why? It wasn't your business because you put your nose somewhere you shouldn't have put it. You don't really know what happened.
Exactly.
Okay, look, that's why I said you need to be upfront and honest. If you are leading, if you meet someone that you really like, and it's leading to a possibility of you all being married. That's why it's so important to date first and then ask all those questions. And then if it's leading to a marriage, then you start asking those hard questions. Mm-hmm. You know, you ask those hard questions first before you, because you know who kissy poo, that's going to be good, but they're only going to last a love you or thrill, but it don't pay no bills.
Okay. Okay.
And you're right. And asking those hard questions, don't mm-hmm. be afraid. Some people be afraid to press on and ask those hard questions. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Just ask those. Just be honest and be just. My thing is just be honest and put your cards on the table. Let that person make a conscious decision for themselves. It's something that we can work with together. You might have an anger problem. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to deal with stressful situations. Some mm-hmm. people don't know how to handle stressful situations. Because long as things are going good, you can handle it. But when things start to going bad, then you begin to panic. You begin to go into a rage. Mm-hmm. There ain't no time for to do that now. Can you handle? Because we must understand in life, everything because of what you're doing. It ain't going to be peaches and cream all of the time.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, back to, your comment you had made earlier about marrying a lie. Mm-hmm. If a person marries another individual under false pretenses, that person is not obligated to remain in that marriage.
Yeah.
They are not obligated to remain in that marriage because that other person should have told the truth from the beginning. Because if you lie to get me to marry you, there's no way I can trust you. And I feel that if I continue to move forward, even after it's been discovered that you lied, that means it's like it's giving you a license to continue lying to me. because that means I'm still with you, knowing that you lied.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
do you have an outside kid? No, I don't have nothing.
Ooh, and some people have lied about that too.
I know that's why I threw that out there. I'm just saying these hard things. Oh no, I don't. Oh no, have you ever? Then you got your friends. Have y'all ever been intimate before? I mean, you got your friends. Now. You got your friends that you because you don't just have that one person that you have dealt with. If you've been in life for quite some time, you got friends, you got people you have dated, and then you say, well, this is my friend. Well, yeah, this is my best friend. Well, have you and your best friend ever been intimate, or y'all ever slept with each other? What? No, we haven't. Come to find out, 2-3 years later, you done slept with your best friend, y'all got a child on the side. Why would you lie about that?
Exactly. Why would you tell that kind of lie?
Be honest, yeah, we sort of liked each other, but nothing never happened. But we still remain friends. You deal with her or him being my friend. If you can't, you make a decision up front. Do you want to continue to be with me because I don't want to give up my friend? Or you want to move on? And we just don't have no relationship because I want to keep him or her as my friend. We made a decision that we would be friends. You've been there for me, or you've been there for him when I needed somebody to talk to. And there, when I needed someone to talk to, she been there. So, but we didn't have that chemistry, have a relationship, but we have a chemistry to have a friendship. And you deal with her being my friend. No, why not? And you deal with him being my friend. Why not? If you honest up front, then you won't have no problem when he or she come around. But if you have a problem with it, it's gonna make you feel a certain way, regardless of who you are. It'll make you feel a certain way.
That's true.
You know, in relationship, sometimes some people don't want to leave some stuff behind. They want to keep it all like it was before they got married. But the Bible even tells you leave and cleave to your mate, even leave your mother and father.
That's right.
And cleave to your mate. But if you're trying to carry all them old relationships into the marriage, you already headed for trouble.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Exactly. You know, before I married my husband, I still had my childhood friends that I grew up with. But all of us childhood friends, are married. All of us are married now, and we still have boundaries. You know, we make sure that we don't do anything to disrespect the spouse. You know, we make sure we're all on the same page, and we get together and everything. You know, because we grew up from babies in Pampers. You know, our mothers were friends. They took turns babysitting us. And so it was never anything romantic. But still, the spouse needs to be reassured because, see, they don't know that. They can only go by what you tell them.
That's it.
You know,
don't have a clue.
And so boundaries have to be respected. The purpose of boundaries is to protect you psychologically and emotionally as well as physically. And when those boundaries are disrespected, it's going to lead to chaos and the ending of some friendships and marriages.
And sometimes the best friend got the husband or wife, and they go and you left behind. You have to set those boundaries.
You have to.
Yeah, so I'm saying that's why and then, you know, in this era that we're living in now, it's not like most couples start out at ground zero. They already got something going on. They've been married before. They got children. They got children in a previous marriage. Some of them in their second marriage. They got 2 sets of families. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
It is.
And if you cannot deal with it, just to know I like you, but you know I'm not gonna be able to. I can't mentally handle all that. So I like you, but I mentally, because it's gonna mess with you mentally more than anything. You know, that's what starts messing with you mentally, and then especially they got grown kids and they are not financially stable before you know it. I need some help. And it's going to start messing with, it's going to create problems. You got to be able to deal with all of that. And you ask yourself your question to yourself, am I ready to deal with it? Can I deal with it? Is it worth it? Is she worth it? Is he worth it? Ask the question, is it really worth it that you have to, do you want to deal with it? If you don't really want to deal with it, you don't have to.
That's right.
Well, you know, some people might say, but I love him. But I love her.
Yeah.
And just like you love them, you can love somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just too much chaos.
But the thing is, do you love them? If you love them enough that you can put up with all of that, so they say love come up a mother too. So far, if you love them that much, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. If you can deal with that, if that's how much love that you have for that person, and you're willing to deal with it, go for it. You can't. Hey, you have to make that decision. You have to look deep inside and ask yourself if I'm ready to deal with it, because sometimes it get worse before it even get better.
That's right.
And you are so right. And sometimes you have that mental stress, just dealing with all of this. You might, sometimes you might want to get to the place you want to hurt somebody. That's reality now.
Yes.
And you think about this right here. If you are in a peaceful place in your life, if you are in a peaceful place in your life, then all of a sudden now you have brought chaotic mental stress up on you when you ain't really even had to.
Okay, that's right.
Because you can't pay for peace. Peace gonna come. It's priceless. Peace is priceless.
That's right.
And get to the house. Oh, my car done broke down. Y'all just sit down and have romantic dinner. My car done broke down. Can you come get me, Daddy? What you gonna do?
Yeah, you have to consider all of that. Can you know, it's a lot that comes with it, especially if you're dating a person and you're trying to marry a person that has multiple baby mamas or multiple baby daddies, and you got 2 or 3 sets of children, and some might be grown and some might be much younger. It's a lot that goes in with that.
And then the phone rang again, you know. He just gave you some sugar. You look at the phone. Oh, Mama. I'm locked up. Can you come get me?
My Lord. And
Mama thinking, because mom have a thing different than dads. Yeah, because a mother have a different type of love for her. I ain't saying dads don't love their children, but mom's love is just a little bit different, because that's the way God made you all. You all have a different type of love, and we have to respect that. Now, regardless of what happened, even the night can go on, but in her mind, she's thinking about her baby. Gotta deal with it.
That's right. And if you have grown children who are financially unstable, or grown children who are making terrible decisions, that stuff is going to darken your doorstep.
More
times.
Right there. It's gonna be rain, and you will be like, "Wow, it rain coming." No, it wasn't, but it's you. Like you said, it's gonna put a cloud on relationship. Before you know it, y'all arguing about something that is really not about you all. But in reality, it is, because you never disconnect from your children. They with you forever.
That's right.
You know, you made me think about the man in the Bible when Jesus said to sit down and count up the cost. He started
count up the cost before you get ready to build.
Yeah, he started building, and then they said all of it began to mock him because this man started to build, but he didn't have enough. He didn't count up the cost to have enough to continue to build it. And things began to mock him and laugh at him. So you need to count up the cost when you're getting into a serious relationship.
That's right.
Yeah, because most relationships now, they're going to start out with blended family. Very seldom you will find two mates that meet each other, don't have no children, share that special bond there together. Very seldom that will happen. You know, it can happen, but the chances are it's already gonna be some damage done. Somebody gonna be to have a child, been married before, or all that can already be to happen. So you got to deal with that from the door.
It's true.
You got a lot to deal with before you really even get started.
That's true. Because, you know, I tell
people. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you finish?
Yeah, go ahead, Miss Earnestine.
No, Miss Walker was fixing to say something. Go ahead.
You know, I hear people say, well, you know, I'm marrying that person. I'm not marrying their children. I'm not marrying their parents and other kin people. Yes, you are. Because, see, when you marrying the crazy, messy aunties, the drunk uncles, whatever generational curses they have, just like they're marrying whatever generational curses and issues that run throughout your bloodline. You are marrying people's history. And so you have to see if those histories can blend. And now it's a matter of, can you deal with the baggage that comes with that person? Can your baggage blend with their baggage and it not cause a whole lot of chaos?
Because in their marriage, when both if they have three candles there, one of them is in the middle, and two of them are on the outside, and one of them and two on the outside is burning. That's the husband. That's the wife. The unity candle is the family candle. Once both of you all light that candle together, you all have united both of those families together. My family is your family. Your family is my family. Why does they say Uncle Jimmy or Auntie or Ernestine? Because by marriage, you have united those families together.
That's true.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say, I think Miss Walker had mentioned that earlier in another talk show about getting to know the other side of the family. Getting to know, you know, because when marriage is more than a notion now. Back in the day, you thought you was in love, you just went on, got married, didn't have any type of counseling or sometimes not even prayerful. And you just got in there and you had to learn the hard way many times, trying to figure your way through, when if you had some knowledge that would have better prepared you. Because sometimes even the parents, they were talking riddles, you know. She done got knocked up and all of that. They weren't telling you the girl had got pregnant.
Exactly.
You're so right, because my sister, they told us, and we didn't know any better because we listened. We listened to our parents because we didn't have all the information that's available to us now. So we listened to them, and whatever they told us, we just believed it and went on about our business. I think we had no in-depth information about it anyway. So whatever they told us, that's what we believed. Yeah, because they told us that this feed up some babies come out of a stump. And we believed them until got pregnant, and then we come to find out it wasn't a stump. Somebody talk to me.
Oh, goodness. I just, you know, I thank God for everything that my parents taught me. You know, I remember growing up, and as a teenager, when I started getting interested in dating, my mom told me this, and I never, ever, ever forget it. She told me, make sure whoever you become interested in, that you check out the pedigree.
Okay.
She said, check out that pedigree. She said, you observed it, you research it, you look and you listen. She said, because whatever foolishness is going on in their family, they're going to be doing the same foolishness. If mama or daddy cheat, if they whoremongering, drinking, smoking, and staying out all night and clubbing and spending every dime they make, that person has been trained to do those same things. Mm-hmm. And so you got to determine, will you be able to live with it? So in a lot of times we will come home and me and my siblings and say we interested in somebody. The first thing my dad would say is who are their folks? Who are their people? And when we would tell them, if we said Jones, Smith, or Johnson, my dad said, oh, no, no ma'am, you need to direct your interest somewhere else, because they know stuff about that family that we kids didn't know or understand. Mm-hmm. It's not that they thought we were too good for somebody else. It was that they know the problems that come with their family, and they didn't want us to suffer it.
Yeah. So that's a possibility. All that is possible. It's possible, but in the midst of that right there, it's
sometimes. No, I ain't gonna say all of the time, but some of the time, some children grow up in that type of environment, and they see that happen, and they would transform and take their life in a different direction. Mm-hmm. It's a possibility that sometimes they'll look at that. When they learn better now, some, I ain't saying in all cases, but I say in some cases, they'll look at those situations and no, I think I want to take my life in a different direction, and they make that transition or change, because sometimes always there's something to break that. It's got to be something to break that generational curse, and sometimes some families and some kids are going a totally different direction in the environment that they grew up in, because they remember they ain't want to be in that environment, and their children, they don't want their children to be introduced to that type of environment. So they go in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes they do, because they learn from their pain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they learn from their pain. Mm-hmm.
They suffered that.
They want to do better.
Because I remember this young man. He was going to school, and his teacher told him that he wasn't going to ever be anything. And you have to be careful how you label your children. Mm-hmm. And then he made it through pro football. And he said, this is for you, Mrs. whatever her name was. You said I would never amount to anything. So, you can make it through. Mm-hmm. But it's better, when you have those good examples. It won't be so hard and so struggling. Mm-hmm. But percentage-wise, how many children make it?
And the thing is, misunderstanding, when you have
those examples and you apply those examples to your life, or you just have them and then you don't apply them, it's not gonna do you. It won't do you any good. Some of us just don't apply them. We say, well, I'm grown. I'm gonna do just what I want to do. I ain't gonna be all like my parents was. I'm gonna do something totally. And all of us have experienced that. Once we left away from home, from our parents' roof, there are things that we wanted to do. There are things we wanted to experience that we couldn't experience while we was with them. Some of them was good. Some of them wasn't so good. But I can say I made it, and I made it out all right. Everybody don't make it out.
That's true. Percentage-wise, a child in those type of environments, maybe a negative environment, what would be the percentage of those that would make it through and really do something positive with their lives?
If you look at mental illness, generational trauma, personal experience in trauma, they have. If you look at that, then the stats is going to be around 40%. Anywhere from 35 to 40%.
That will make it.
That will make it through those types of environments. But those who do have been introduced to something new and totally opposite from what they've experienced within their own families.
Yeah, okay, then I got you. The environment, they changed the environment and got introduced to something different that made
the change. Or something had to happen in their lives to make the transition.
All right. Yep. Thank you, Sister Willie. And even in a regular life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some type of intervention, especially a divine intervention,
Mm-hmm.
that can set you in a whole new course,
Mm-hmm.
no matter where you came from.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you. I agree with you
100% on that now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So, you know, we don't have all the answers, but the thing is,
Like I said, but we just give them based on facts and our experience and the things that we have experienced. That's why sometimes God takes us, we go through things to be a testament or a testimony to someone else to help them get through. Because if you never had those type of life experiences, you won't be able to never help no one with their experiences.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well, how much better it would be, though, if you came from a good environment and you connect with the right person. It's like you got a head start in life.
That's true.
A lot of stuff you don't really have to work through it, because the Lord, we either learn by teaching or we learn by experience.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those experiences can be some hard knocks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's true. That sure can.
That's true.
That sure can.
Mm-hmm.
But most
Of the time, most of the time, I ain't saying all of the time, but most of the time, when children leave from up on, when they get an opportunity, teenagers, when they get a chance to get from up on their parents' roof
Mm-hmm.
and do the things that they want to do, they will experience certain things. But you just pray for them that they don't experience the wrong thing that would cause them, that they won't get too far. They won't go too far. Sometimes they go too far.
Mm-hmm.
They will, because they're going to do stuff. Because I did it. I couldn't wait. I was just like a horse pawing in the bed. I was ready to go.
I thought I was.
But by the same token, my parents had prepared me, though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some of the things that my dad shared with me about being, getting a job and going to work and being independent. I remember my mom telling me to make sure you keep your house clean and pay your bills and go to work and be honest and all those things. So I started applying those things to my life, and that's the reason why I share with young men. You don't have to steal. You get up off your butt and you go to work. And I remember what Dr. King said. He said, whatever you do, be the best at it. If you be the best at it, it'll pay off for you, because it will set you up for something better.
That's right.
And you're so right. I was listening to that yesterday. If you're going to be a street sweeper or a street worker, be the best you can at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's setting you up for something better, because all of us have to start
From somewhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We have to start from somewhere. But even if you come from an adverse home growing up, it's important. That's why the word says acknowledge God in all that you do. Because even if you haven't had the right teachings, the Holy Spirit is a wonderful teacher. He would guide you and lead you. But you have to hear from him. You have to have a relationship with him so that he can guide you and lead you towards breaking some of the curses and the generational curses that you descend from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And have some positive people in your life. Mm-hmm. If you got a lot of negative people in your life, sometimes it's hard to rise like that. But if you have those one or two positive people that give you good information, that show you that love and that care, that can mean all the difference in the world.
Yes, it can. And that person doesn't have to be biologically related to you. You know, family is anybody who encourages you, lifts you up, and want to push you to your greatest potential.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's right. And all the time, sometimes that's why God put people in your life, in your past, when you're trying to do something, and you're trying to do the right thing, God always will put the right person in your path to help you. Put them angels in your path, and they'll see your desire. They'll see what you're trying to do, and they'll take you and put you up on their wings.
That's right.
Yes,
I know I'm right about it.
Oh yeah,
because you're talking to one, right? You got one on the phone.
Right.
Put you in the right path with the right people. They would direct you. They would help you. That's the reason why my favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:5-6.
It said, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean lean on their own understanding. All their ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. The path of life that God put you on, he will have people down that path to help you when it get dark. He'll have a little light at the end of the tunnel. He'll bring that person to your life and say, Jimmy, you can do it. I got confidence in you. This is what you need to do. They'll start to direct you. They'll start to empowering you. And before you know it, you'll say, I made it.
That's right. That's right.
They say bumblebees fly anyway. By nature, the bumblebee is not supposed to fly because his little body is bigger than those little wings they have. But that bumblebee fly anyway. Sometimes an individual can come from adverse situations. But if God be for you,
who then can be against? That's right.
Who can be against you?
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, for Ms. Earnestine, I took a break with you this morning. Thank you all for allowing me to be part of your show. It's been great. I have really enjoyed the topic this morning.
All right. We appreciate you for calling in. You're always welcome here. And we're looking forward to working with you this year.
Okay, then. I look forward to working with you all as well. Ms. Walker, you have a good day. It was my pleasure meeting you over the airwaves.
Yes, sir. Same here. Thank you for calling. We enjoyed you.
Okay, then. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, okay?
Yes, sir.
You too.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We didn't even get to our subject on hoarders and the different generations. We'll bring that up next time. The Lord said the same. But just to give us a little, whet our appetite just a little bit, what's going on with the hoarder? The hoarder.
Hoarders. Hoarding is a severe form of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And what obsessive compulsive disorder is, it's a form of anxiety disorder where the person has these reoccurring intrusive thoughts or obsessions that have to be satisfied with some type of ritualistic behavior.
Would you say some of that is a lack of faith that you won't get any more?
It depends on how you look at it. Now, if you look at it in spiritual terms, yes, it can be a lack of faith. You know, and what makes it a disorder is because the person doesn't want to have those symptoms. It causes them great distress to have the obsessions and then have to go through this ritualistic behavior to satisfy or interrupt those intrusive thoughts or obsessions.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that maybe the next time. Okay. What would be your departing remarks for our radio listeners?
With any decision that you make in life, whether it be to acquire a mate, dealing with your finances, your health, be sure to consult the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you. No matter what your situation is, no matter what adverse circumstances you come from, the Holy Spirit can help you overcome all of those things.
In other words, do your research. Research with the Holy Spirit. And sometimes you got to do some natural research.
Oh, yeah.
And how much debt they in.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask those hard questions. What's your credit like? How many baby mamas you have? How many children you have? How many baby daddies you have? You know, what your family was like. Where did you come from? Ask those questions. It's not intrusive and you're not being nosy. You trying to make sure that you're not getting in a situation that's going to rob you of your peace in the long run.
But if they lying to you, you ought to have some type of discernment, whether they lying or not, about what they telling you.
Exactly. That's why you have to go into prayer, because the Holy Spirit will not let you be tricked, lied to, or bamboozled. And if you get over into the situation and you figure out they lied, you're not obligated to stay with that person. If you have the right to divorce them, if you feel that they deceived you.
All right, that's going to do it for us this time. And hopefully next time we'll talk about the hoarders and the different generations and a lot of other good stuff.
All right.
We appreciate our counselor here. Thank God for her coming and sharing great information with us so much. We're so appreciative.
See you soon.
All right, that's going to do it. Y'all have a great day. We love you with the love of Jesus Christ.
I got that feeling that you get when you get new kicks. Bell ringing on the last day of singing, yeah. Hot stopping everybody, but we out of here. Too late. So fast, life comes and goes. Make it loud, best